Welcome back. Thanks for joining me this week. Today marks 212 days cancer-free. Last week I took 91,783 steps. I had over 25 pounds of fruits and veggies. I'm grateful for another day. For this week's gratitude, I'm going to highlight what I like to call run hugs. So Lexi and Levi, they like to put labels on things. We have a couple things we do. One of them is run hugs, which is basically I'll get down in like a squat and they'll run at me and I give them a hug. And they love to do that. And so if ever I'm like, hey, you want to do a run hug? They're like, yeah. And they run back about 20 feet and then they run full speed at me and give me a hug. So it's kind of like it's a really fun thing. So that's what I'm grateful for this week. Let me know what you're grateful for in the comments. I'd love to know. All right, so the past couple weeks, I've had a core topic where I've dove into some, particular thing related to health and impacts. I did sleep and almond powder. That's got me thinking, really, and I've had this thought multiple times, but what do I want my channel to be about? And I've had it for a couple months now, and I've been thinking about it. And so first, let's talk a little bit about where I've been. So for anyone who may be seeing this for the first time or doesn't know anything about my channel, which is most everybody, back in September, I had surgery to remove stage 2 colon cancer. This was after last year, my son being born with an incredibly rare cancer called B-core sarcoma. He passed away last August, which is part of why I had my surgery in September instead of earlier. But anyway, I was impacted by cancer quite a bit last year and saw the impacts of chemo and know a lot more about it than I'd like. And so when my cancer was waiting to be staged, I decided that unless it was at least stage 3, I wasn't going to do chemo. And if I wasn't going to do chemo, I still wanted to take control and do everything I could to prevent cancer from coming back. So I made some major lifestyle changes. I did like a 90-day cleanse where I was vegan, ate just raw food for the most part of it, and then I kind of started cooking a little bit, but it was only fruits and vegetables. I started juicing, so I juice 32 ounces of fresh juice every day. I started having my anti-cancer smoothie, and I invented my anti-cancer broth in order to get some more super ultra powerful spices into my body. I completed a 7-day water fast. I started a new exercise routine. It's a 5-minute dumbbell routine. I found out by this guy on TikTok called Player to Player. I think his real name's Gage. I'm not sure. But it's a 5-minute dumbbell routine. I do it 5 days a week and seen some improvement from there. And then I got back to doing push-ups, squats, sit-ups, and pull-ups 1 day a week. So that's where I've been. What are my results so far? Well, 1, I've had no sign of cancer returning. This is not surprising, independent of everything I've done. And the research I found, if I was to have it come back, it's going to come back at a year. So right now, I'm in this great period where everything is great, and I fully intending for that to continue well past this period. But it really, the days cancer-free don't really matter too much until I get to 365 days. And then after that, really, my whole goal is 5 years, so 1,900 days or whatever that is. I don't have the math in my head. So I'll be tracking that till I get there. Before all this, I had GERD, and it was bad enough that I couldn't sleep without having a raised pillow and doing a bunch of things. That's gone, completely healed. I lost 33 pounds. I had surgery on my elbow when I was 25, and that's kind of when my health went the wrong direction. I think I was the I think I was over like around almost 200 pounds at the time. But anyway, I had surgery on my elbow and had a little rod put in it. And I've had issues with this arm ever since then. Never got full range of motion. I couldn't flex this arm without it hurting. Like, it literally hurt if I flexed the arm. And then if I slept on it, it would hurt. I can flex now, and it doesn't hurt. I attribute that mostly to the dumbbell routine because while I've done exercises and things like that, that one forced this arm to get stronger all by itself. And I think that has helped a lot. But overall, I've had very little joint pain or anything like that. And I think that's due to a lot of anti-inflammation stuff I'm doing. I went down a shirt size. I had finally accepted I'm in a large. I've been in a medium for a long time, and I'd feel too big, and then I'd get into a large. Finally just accept I was in a large. Now all my larges are too big. I literally just bought a bunch of shirts the other day because I'm like, these all don't fit anymore. Dropped 2 pant sizes. I've been in, when I became an adult, I went into 32s, and then, when I went up to 34s, I was like, oh crap, it's time to go on a diet. I was at the point where I was at a 34. I bought a suit for Luke's funeral, and I had to get a 34. And I'm like, great. I'm officially on the other side now. I went back down to 32s. I figured that was my target goal weight. Turns out I can go smaller. I'm now in a 30, and that's really loose on me. I've literally never been in a 30 as an adult. I think I went from boys to 32. So I didn't even know as an adult I could be in that 30. And realistically, I am in the best shape / health of my adult life. And something I've always wanted to do, but this has forced me to get my life together. And I just kind of started. I really want to see where I make it at the end of the year, right? So I'm tracking that, and I'll share that with you all guys in a year. So that's what I've done. That's the results I've had. So why did I start this channel? Well, I started it mostly because with Luke, I was doing weekly or daily updates to a group of people, and they were kind of following my story, and I wanted to keep them in the know. Once I made my decision to kind of make some serious lifestyle changes, this became an accountability to me to say, hey, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to tell people about it so that if I don't do it, I'll feel bad. So it was a little bit of forcing me to do it. Since then, by and large, I have moved away from posting on a group that I had before to just publicly posting and building a new audience. This audience obviously doesn't necessarily know my story, doesn't necessarily care, and ultimately it gets monotonous and it's a little bit boring over time. If I'm going to do these videos, which I've decided I want to because I've actually really enjoyed just doing them, it's given me something new to do. I wanted to change it to be something that is a little bit more sustainable than just, I didn't die last week. So part of what has happened this year is I've gotten a true passion to learn about health and natural ways to improve it. True health, not the stuff you see everywhere else. Although there's obviously good parts of that too, but there's a commercialized version of health that I do not subscribe to, which is just about losing weight and having muscles. That is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for actual health, and there is a bit of a movement for that too. But what I think I want this channel to be about is about the discoveries I have every week, learning about something. So maybe it's sleep, maybe it's stress, maybe it's some particular food, and then just sharing it with you guys. So that's what I'm going to do going forward. And it's not necessarily going to be about my weekly updates. So the vision going forward, ultimately, I'm still going to tell my health story because that is the very important part of it. But it's going to obviously be a lot less exciting because I'm not going to get cancer back. That is my plan. It'll probably get more exciting if I did get cancer, if it showed back up, but it's not, so that's going to be kind of boring. I have quarterly or yearly scans, so I'll probably do a video about those whenever they occur, just to give updates around that. But I'm going to focus on discovery, learning new things, and sharing that with you guys. Things that can benefit you, not just me. And then every so often, I'm going to mix in living my best life. Because ultimately, the whole point here is to learn and grow, but live in the moment and have the best life you can have while you're alive. Because the reality is, it's short and you do not know how long you have it for. So I'm going to mix in some of those every so often. That will be much more rare. Now, if you've been actually on my channel, I've got a bunch of videos going in about Luke's story. So I mentioned him earlier. I'm still telling that story, and because of that, I'm going to pause on my weekly updates until June 1st, and then I'll start back up again. So I'm going to go a little bit dark for a month, but then I'll be back. Then how I start the videos, and I have my hot takes, and I have my gratitudes. I'm still going to do those, but I'm going to move those into short form content. So if you want to see those, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube Shorts. I'll do a little more small, hey, this is what I'm grateful for this week, or this is my hot take for the week, as opposed to putting in the videos. Because ultimately, someone who's off the street who's interested in AMLA doesn't care about my gratitude, doesn't care about my hot take. And so it makes that video longer and they're less likely to watch it. So I'm going to make the videos more focused going forward. All right, so come join me on discovering about the best way to live your life, the best way to stay healthy, and learn about crazy foods or techniques or things that you can do to improve your life along the way. And follow me on any of my social platforms, whichever one you use, and I'd appreciate it. All right, so hot take this week. RFK and HHS has banned all the main food dyes that all the other countries have banned. This is the reason why people voted him in. Like, this is one of the main reasons. And I guess my hot take is this is a good sign that maybe, just maybe, the government will start caring about our health instead of just corporations who want to make a buck and are willing to put toxic chemicals into your food to make it pretty and add no value other than that. All right, let me know what you think in the comments. Drop me a like if you liked any of this. I appreciate it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. God bless, and we will see you later.